going on, guys? JD from New York here, and what a night! WWE Roadblock 2016 live tonight on the WWE Network. It was everything that I said it would be. A complete waste of everyone's time and energy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and overly bash the show because I'm not. I have to give credit where credit is due. WWE gave us Roadblock at the last minute, and it exceeded my expectations in ring-wise. Everybody tonight, from the League of Nations to Stardust to Luke Harper, everybody in between, everybody gave a top-notch in-ring performance. This was a great wrestling show, bar none. Probably one of the best WWE has put on thus far this year. I'm going to actually go on to say that this might have been the best event WWE has put on in 2016 so far, based on an in-ring aspect. It certainly blew away WWE Fastlane. So, get that right out of the fucking gate. This pay-per-view or this event was better than Fastlane. Blew it out of the fucking water. This event, to me, and like I've been saying for many, many weeks now, since it's been announced, all of this that we've seen tonight could have easily been on a Monday Night Raw. Everything that we've seen tonight, from Luke Harper versus Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt didn't even get in the ring with Brock Lesnar. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Stardust and Sami Zayn. You had the Tag Team Championship match with the New Day versus the League of Nations. You had an absolutely fantastic one-on-one match with Triple H and Dean Ambrose. All of this could have taken place on Monday Night Raw like I said WWE should have done. They could have built Monday Night Raw up as the destination to be and the show to watch during the road to WrestleMania. You could have had this show happen. Raw's 3 hours, limit the commercial breaks. Raw's 3 hours. You could have had this in Chicago. You could have had this in Pittsburgh. You could have had this in Philadelphia. You could have had this in New York. Any one of those big towns on the road to WrestleMania, you could have easily had this show. Seriously. Nothing happened tonight on Roadblock that really warranted WWE to put this on the WWE Network and hype this as some big 3-hour network special. It didn't need to be. Everything that we've seen could have easily happened on Monday Night Raw. WWE could have spiked a decent rating. They could have made Monday Night Raw look good again. They didn't need to do this tonight. The only way I would have sat here and told you guys that this event was worth anyone's time is if WWE went out there in Toronto tonight and took a risk. Took a calculated risk, and by risk I mean change the WrestleMania card. Seriously. They didn't do any of that. WWE stuck to their guns. We're going to get the same old, predictable, boring WrestleMania that was already announced before this event even was conceived. We're going to get Roman Reigns versus Triple H. We're going to get the Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar match. Nothing has changed. We're looking ahead now at WrestleMania 3 weeks, and literally nothing has changed. Where WWE could have taken a risk tonight and reward Dean Ambrose with the WWE Championship, they did not capitalize on that. They made Dean Ambrose look like... we'll discuss it. But they made Dean Ambrose look fucking fantastic tonight. They made Triple H, who looks magnificent, by the way, for 47 years old, unbelievable. Like I said, the in-ring action tonight was great. The entire aspect of this show and nothing big happening during this show, it's just a waste of time. It is a complete waste of everyone's time. You needed to have something major happen on this show to warrant the 2.5 hours people spent in that arena and watching at home. And nothing happened. Nothing. And I can't say and I can't sit here that I'm proud of that, because I wanted more than anybody for WWE to realize that this Roman Reigns experiment is a failure. You got 3 weeks of WWE television left before WrestleMania, and we haven't heard one fucking peep from Roman Reigns besides a tweet. No matter if it's the CEO or the COO, no matter if it's my best friend, I'm taking the WWE title, he tweets out. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares about what you're thinking. Seriously, show up on Raw and explain to us why you deserve the WWE Championship. Nothing happened. It was an uneventful, great wrestling show, and that's all Roadblock is going to be. You're going to go back and watch it, and you're going to say, you know what, JD, you were right. People who have been listening to me all week rant about Roadblock and why this should not even be taking place. You watched the show tonight and said, you know what? JD was right once again. Absolutely not worth anyone's time. Nothing exciting happened. And we're going on to WrestleMania the same way as before this show even started. So WWE, what are you going to do now? You're going to give us the same predictable, boring outcome that everyone's expecting. Roman Reigns winning the WWE Championship. Great job at getting that one over after we just seen Dean Ambrose and Triple H in a fucking war on Roadblock 2016. Can't wait to see that one go over very well in Dallas. But I'll tell you what, the show tonight was great, in-ring-wise. Other than that, really nothing much happened at Roadblock. I'm going to get this right out of the gate as I scroll through these matches. Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and John Bradshaw Layfield are the worst fucking announce team in wrestling today. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Something needs to be done. You guys are asking for a version 3 of Get Off My TV. I think I found my 3 fucking goons for the next version. Certainly going to be Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and JBL sitting behind a fucking announce desk. These guys are absolutely fucking dreadful. I can't stand to listen to them. I looked over at my brother tonight, and I'm like, I can't stand these fucking guys. Michael Cole calling the World Championship match, I can't stand his fucking voice. I don't know what it is. I think it's the realization that they do have Mauro Ranallo on their payroll now. Why aren't you utilizing his voice to get this shit over? Why are you utilizing Michael Cole in this role to this very day? I'd rather have fucking Jim Ross calling matches from his grave than listen to this fucking clown. This guy sucks. Seriously. So does Saxton, which he's not that bad on NXT, but on Monday Night Raw, I can't fucking stand him. And John Bradshaw Layfield, listen, I don't know what this guy is doing behind the microphone, but he's seen his day, bro. Seriously. Josh Phillips and Corey Graves are the guys you got to listen to. Watch NXT. That's how you pair 2 guys and form an announce team in WWE. These guys are awful. They didn't do anything to add any drama, any intrigue, and any interest to this fucking show. Awful. So, you guys want version 3 of Get Off My TV? There you go. It's going to be Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and John Bradshaw Layfield. Show took place tonight live from the Ricoh Coliseum in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Show opened up with the tag team titles, WWE Tag Team titles, New Day versus King Barrett and Sheamus. I must admit, it was great to start the show off with this match because the crowd's going to be hot. You don't want to put this show on in the middle of the show where people are kind of fading away a little bit. There's less excitement as the show goes on. I agree with WWE putting this match on first because the crowd was on fire right from the get-go. New Day cuts a great promo in the middle of the ring with the unveiling of Bootios. And they're going against 2 guys and a stable in the League of Nations that really has no momentum behind them. They have absolutely nobody behind them. Nobody wants to see them. Nobody's interested in seeing them. So it was great to start these 2 guys, Barrett and Sheamus, off with the New Day, who have no momentum, going against the New Day, who have all the momentum in the world and the crowd behind them. So in the end, it really wasn't that bad of a match. It really wasn't that bad of a match. Some people were saying that King Barrett and Sheamus might possibly win the Tag Team Championships, you know, because they need that momentum. But the New Day actually end up winning this match in around 9 minutes. It was a big ending to Wade Barrett. And all this does is set up King Barrett and Sheamus to get their rematch at WrestleMania against the New Day because Xavier Woods was on the outside. He did what he had to do, as always, interfering and causing distraction, which led to a big ending to Wade Barrett, 1, 2, 3. New Day retains the Tag Team Championships in a decent opener. The promo by the New Day, though, was probably better than the match itself, but the match really wasn't all that bad. These 2 teams gelled nicely together, and the League of Nations, again, no momentum going into WrestleMania. Sucks for the New Day that they have to go against 2 guys and a stable in the League of Nations to set up a match for WrestleMania, and that's going to be their WrestleMania match. But I don't know, man. It was decent. I don't know how the crowd at WrestleMania is going to react. I'm saying it's decent now, and the happenings at Roadblock were decent, but do we really want to see this match again at WrestleMania? I think I've seen, personally, all I need to see of this feud. Ended already. Seriously, ended already. New Day wins, retains the Tag Team Championships in 9 minutes. Big ending to Wade Barrett to open the show. Chris Jericho versus Jack Swagger. Now, obviously, Chris Jericho is billed from Canada, and Chris Jericho comes out there with a light-up jacket, and he comes out there and receives a chorus of cheers after he just turned on AJ Styles. I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is going against what WWE wants with Chris Jericho, so how is Chris Jericho going to get the fans to hate him? Putting down Canada and belittling Canada, said that he is the best product to come from Canada ever. Fuck Bret Hart. He didn't really say that, but he kind of stuck it to the Canadian fans. You cheer for Bret Hart. You're not going to get Bret Hart ever again. He actually ripped up a Get Well Bret sign in the crowd after his match tonight with Jack Swagger. If there's one thing Chris Jericho does, it is get heel heat, and he did a fantastic job at making his hometown of Canada hate him and boo him, since he is supposed to be playing the heel going into WrestleMania against AJ Styles. Now, on the opposite side, Jack Swagger comes out, right? Jack Swagger comes out, he's doing We the People, he's got the American flag on the big screen in the back as he's making his entrance. Really didn't make any sense for Chris Jericho to put down Canadians and then have the American Jack Swagger come out and defend what Chris Jericho said about Canadians. It really doesn't make any sense. WWE, I think they lost train of thought when booking this match and putting this match together. Really didn't make any sense, and honestly, it made WWE look a little bit stupid. Instead of having a fucking Canadian come out there and put on a match with another Canadian who was belittling the crowd. Instead of giving us a face Canadian versus a heel Canadian, they stupidly go with the American to back up the Canadian crowd. Doesn't make any sense to me. Seriously. And the reason why Jack Swagger was booked for this match, and the reason why people were tweeting me, oh, JD, Jack Swagger is still employed by WWE. Yes, apparently he is. Obviously he is. But WWE had a house show tonight in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Half of the roster wasn't even there. And they were putting on a show down on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. So that's the reason why we got Jack Swagger versus Chris Jericho. Honestly, I would have booked Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho. I would have had Sami Zayn get the upset victory over Chris Jericho, send the crowd home happy. But what the fuck do I know? I'm just a goon who's watching WWE. Chris Jericho obviously beat Jack Swagger tonight. Walls of Jericho, 755. JBL, annoyingly, I wanted to fucking throw my remote through my TV just to end the fucking misery. Shouting, you still got it, as the fucking screen went to black and Jericho walked back up the ramp. Please, get these guys off my fucking TV. Absolutely terrible play-by-play announcing by JBL. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about because it was fucking annoying. NXT Tag Team titles. Enzo Amore, Colin Cassidy versus The Revival, Dash and Dawson. This was the absolute, well, before Triple H and Dean Ambrose happened, this was the best match on the card, okay? Had to stop myself because this is how good this match was. Then I'm thinking back to Triple H and Dean Ambrose. They put on a damn good fucking match as well. NXT Tag Team titles on the line. Enzo Amore, Colin Cassidy versus The Revival. If you take this match, if you guys are going to go back and watch this, if you haven't watched it, if you're watching it later, if you worked late and you didn't get a chance to see it live, go back and pay attention. Watch the New Day versus the League of Scrubs, and then watch this match with Enzo and Kass versus The Revival. You are going to see night and day when it comes to how tag team wrestling should be. Enzo and Kass are superstars. They will be the face of the tag team division. They got a great reaction. They got the fucking huge pop in the beginning for their intro. Everybody knew who they were. They had the Toronto crowd chanting soft. They just had it. These guys are superstars. Now, I don't know if Vince McMahon was backstage in gorilla position with this, with his goons and Triple H. I don't know if he was there at the show. More than likely he was. But Triple H and Vince McMahon have to understand one thing. Both of them have to understand one thing. These guys, Enzo and Kass, are ready for the main roster. If tonight did not prove that, I don't know what else these two have to do. Vince McMahon needs to open his eyes. Vince McMahon needs to open his eyes, seriously, and I hope he was paying close attention to this NXT match. It had everything that you need as far as tag team action goes. It had two teams that gel very well together. Tag team moves that we've never seen before in WWE or rarely see on Monday Night Raw. We have two teams that have some type of history, that have a grudge, that are trying to finish a storyline, and the crowd is into it because the match means something. Both teams have momentum. Both teams are fighting for something. Instead of the New Day and the League of Losers, who are fighting over the Tag Team Championships, where one team means a whole lot, and the other team is pretty much nothing. A pile of dog shit on my fucking sidewalk means more than the League of Losers. So, the fucking differential here between both teams is out of this world. You watch this match and see how this match was planned out and produced and just laid out, and compare that to the WWE Tag Team Championship match. I'm telling you, there will be night and day. Now, the reason why this match was happening tonight on Roadblock is because they needed a conclusion for this match. Okay? These two teams have been feuding for a couple of months now. Last takeover, we had Kass and Enzo versus the Revival. I thought they were going to win the tag team titles there, but WWE decided to keep the titles on the Revival, Dash and Dawson. Shocking everybody. Still, it really didn't hurt Enzo and Kass because they have a ton of momentum where they can afford to lose, because every time they come out, they are going to be admired and looked upon as a quality team. These guys gel very well together, okay? And now we come to Roadblock, and WWE needs to conclude this storyline because Dash and Dawson are going to be going into NXT TakeOver Dallas against American Alpha, Jordan and Gable. So they needed to get this squared away, and they needed a conclusion to this storyline. Now, I'm watching this with my brother, and he doesn't understand the allure, I would say, of Enzo and Kass. He really wasn't too familiar, but what he did see, and I trust my brother when he watches these things with me, is that he noticed how great Enzo and Kass work together. He noticed how big Colin Cassidy is, and the mobility and the agility that he has for a 7-foot guy, pulling out moves and being very agile and quick in the ring. And you look at them, he said, you look at these two guys and you see them teaming together and how they're gelling in the double team moves, and you could eventually see that these two are a great pairing. Dash and Dawson don't have the prototypical look of a WWE tag team, but what they do in the fucking ring is absolutely great. You compare these guys to anyone on the main roster, and these guys can stand toe-to-toe with anyone on the main roster. I would love to see both of these teams on the main roster, but I think Enzo and Kass obviously will be promoted or demoted, like you guys know I say. Demoted first, and I think big things are in store for Enzo and Kass. I say that because they did not take the titles from the Revival. This feud is now over, and this makes room for Enzo and Kass on the main roster. The Revival retains the Tag Team Championships tonight with the Shatter Machine to Enzo Amore. There was a close fucking call, a near fall towards the end of the match. Enzo was on the top rope. Dash and Dawson did the Shatter Machine to fucking Colin Cassidy on the outside. They took him out of commission. I thought Enzo was going to win this entire thing for himself. He hits a top rope DDT on on Wilder, and grabs a roll-up for a close near fall. I thought it was over. I thought they had him. I'm like, holy shit, they're going to win the fucking titles. The champs get back up, and quickly, just like that, Shatter Machine out of the corner, gets the pin on Amore. Fucking brutal finishing move at 10:15. The Revival, Dash and Dawson, beat Enzo Amore to retain the Tag Team Championships of NXT. Go back and watch that match, and watch what I'm talking about. The difference between both matches is night and day. And I hope everybody in WWE is paying attention to both teams. More notably, Enzo and Kass. These guys are ready for the main roster. These guys are going to be the two that take the tag team titles from the New Day. That is my prediction. Divas Championship. Charlotte versus Natalya. This match was booked because Natalya obviously is related to Bret Hart. Bret Hart Canada goes synonymous one with another. Obviously, this match was booked because it is in Canada. Natty got a great reaction. This match was, I'm going to say this, the best Divas match on the main roster in 2016. Started off slow, It had that Mr. Perfect Bret Hart esque kind of feel, or I should say Bret Hart versus Ric Flair esque feel, being that Natty is related to Bret, and obviously Charlotte is the daughter of Ric Flair. You just seen they tried to go old school with the storytelling here and the slow, methodical pace in the beginning of the match, and then they started to pick it up, really. And then I started to really get into it. One thing that I think they need to do with Charlotte is she kind of wrestles the same match for the last couple of months, or has been wrestling the same match for the last couple of months. I think they just slightly need to pick up the pace on Charlotte. I really think they do. You know, I'm not too fond of the slow starts, and then they build and build and build, and by the time it's too late when they get to the end of the match, you're just starting to get into it. You know, they take too long with the slow, methodical pacing. I can appreciate some of that and good storytelling, but pick up the pace gradually. You know, if you do too much of one, it kind of throws everything out of whack, and you're looking, it's all right. It's nothing special, but, you know, the ending of this match really, really made me excited to watch this match. I knew there wasn't going to be a title change. You know Charlotte's going into WrestleMania as the Divas champion to face Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, but the match in the end really had people on their feet, and the crowd was going fucking crazy. They wanted, and they believed in Natty, and they got behind Natty. Charlotte goes up for something, but gets countered into a Batista bomb. A Batista bomb by Natty for a very, very close near fall. The fans were going crazy at this point. Charlotte then had the figure four in on Natty, and that was countered into a sharpshooter, okay? Natty had the sharpshooter. Everyone's going crazy. The entire fucking front row, the first couple of rows were on their feet. Crowd going crazy. She's got the sharpshooter. Charlotte's inching towards the ropes. Ric Flair has her. Charlotte grabs Ric Flair's suit. Natty pulls her back to the middle of the ring. Who scripts this garbage? Seriously, Natty pulls her back to the middle of the ring and then just lets go of the hold. She just lets go of the hold. She had Natty in the sharpshooter, crawling over to the ropes. She pulls Charlotte back into the middle of the ring and then releases the hold because of what Ric Flair was doing on the outside. You're in a championship match. Why are you letting go of your finishing move when you are about to win the match? It is not believable. What is with these Divas matches that are fucking good, are decent, and gets the crowd excited and the crowd's behind Natty? Why are you producing matches that have shit endings? I don't understand it. So Charlotte rolls up Natty, and boom, 1, 2, 3. Charlotte beats Natalya, roll up with feet on the ropes. I just don't get it. I really don't get it, and this calls for a who scripts this fucking garbage moment. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. I even said, and I knew who was going to win the match, but I mean, give me a fucking break. Can you book a better ending, a more believable ending than that? You're in a fucking title match for your division. Women's Championship on the line, and you're gonna fucking release the hold after you fucking pull her back into the middle of the ring? Who gives a shit about what Ric Flair's doing on the outside? Give me a fucking break. That's the only thing I have bad to say about this match, on top of the slow, methodical pacing in the beginning. I think they picked it up just a little bit too late. They shifted into gears just a little bit too late, but the ending was awesome up until that fucking moment where Natty had the sharpshooter. Like I said, give me a break, bro. Natty wins, or Natty loses. Charlotte wins with a roll-up, feet on the ropes at 13:35. 1, 2, 3. She retains the title. She's going on to Mania to go against Sasha and Becky Lynch for the Divas Championship in a triple threat. Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. It was supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt, number one. I can only say one thing here. WWE realized this was not going to end good, and that there was going to be internet backlash. That's the reason why Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar did not happen. Bray Wyatt was there, and they billed this as a 2-on-1 match. Bray Wyatt didn't even touch Brock Lesnar tonight. It was all Luke Harper. He received about fucking 16 suplexes, and Brock Lesnar won with an F5 in the end in 4 minutes, and he beat Luke Harper. No shit. Brock Lesnar was never going to lose this match. The reason why this match did not happen with Bray Wyatt is because, honestly, WWE knows they fucked up. You can't have Bray Wyatt lose and look weak, even though he did look weak a little bit by retreating from Brock Lesnar. You couldn't have Bray Wyatt lose this match. You couldn't have Brock Lesnar lose this match. So WWE just gave up and said, you know what, we can't have either of these guys lose. So we're going to put Luke Harper in there with Brock Lesnar, and we're going to have him get his ass kicked. That's all that was. But at this point in time, it got everybody thinking, and it certainly had me confused. Was WWE planning on something happening in the main event that they didn't put Bray Wyatt in this match? Was WWE even contemplating at this point, and I know you guys were thinking the same thing, was WWE contemplating putting Bray Wyatt back with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and shifting the card around, giving Dean Ambrose the title and just moving pieces here and there to reshuffle WrestleMania again? I don't know. That's what I was thinking. But obviously Bray Wyatt wanting nothing to do with Brock Lesnar kind of makes him look weak. He just fed his own disciple, I should say, Luke Harper to Brock Lesnar. And, again, this match really doesn't make any sense. I mean, how does this continue from what happened at the Royal Rumble? I mean, what is going on here? Obviously, what they set up at the Royal Rumble with Brock Lesnar being eliminated by all members of the Wyatt family, obviously that's set up for something to happen at WrestleMania. Now that we're not getting that at WrestleMania, what is Bray Wyatt's role going to be at WrestleMania? He has no role. WWE has no role for Bray Wyatt. What are you going to do with him? None of this made any sense whatsoever, and it's just fucking lazy on WWE Creative. It really is. I mean, by the time Brock Lesnar is finished with WrestleMania, obviously he's going on a leave of absence. You're not going to see Brock Lesnar back until SummerSlam. You mean to tell me WWE is going to hold off on this until SummerSlam? How are you going to pick this feud back up? Why is anybody going to care about this feud come SummerSlam with Brock Lesnar being out April, May, June, and July? And then he's going to come back at the end of July towards August for SummerSlam to build towards a match, probably, with Bray Wyatt. Why? Why is anybody going to care at that point after what happened in January? Nobody's going to care. So I just don't understand what happened with this. I understand why it did not happen, and I'm actually glad that it didn't, because this match shouldn't even been fucking booked to begin with. Seriously. But I just stand confused at what WWE is doing here with Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar. It's like they're teasing you, and then they wanted to give you a match, they advertised the match, and then last minute they pulled the match and realized, we can't have this guy lose. I mean, Bray Wyatt, yeah, he's decent, but we can't have him lose. We can't have him look like shit. Obviously, we can't have Brock Lesnar look like shit. Let's just fucking can the match and just throw Luke Harper out there. That's what WWE was thinking here. F5 to Luke Harper, 4 minutes, Brock Lesnar, easy work. Easy work for Lesnar on Saturday night. He gets paid. Everybody's happy. Sami Zayn versus Stardust. This match was actually very, very good, you know. This is the kind of shit I want to see. Matches that are great in the ring and get someone over with great in-ring action. This is exactly what happened with Sami Zayn tonight. Some of you might not have liked the match. The only thing that I didn't like about the match was that Stardust has no momentum whatsoever. Nobody gives a shit about Stardust. They put Stardust in there with Sami Zayn, who you're trying to build momentum for going towards WrestleMania. Stardust probably wasn't the right guy. I would have easily put him in there with Chris Jericho. But again, what the fuck do I know? Canadian versus Canadian instead of American versus Canadian. I mean, I think that would have been a better match. Chris Jericho obviously got the heel heat. Sami Zayn's from Montreal. He's got the face reaction. I think those two could have gelled very well together. I think that would have made a lot more sense. Stardust has no momentum, so the crowd was pretty much quiet through most of this. They were awakened with the big spots, and Sami Zayn ends up getting a nice victory with the Helluva Kick at 12 minutes and 43 seconds. He beat Stardust. Very hard-fought match, and Sami Zayn's going to be a fucking beast. My brother even said it, and he's not too familiar with Sami Zayn. He says, I see Sami Zayn as that next Daniel Bryan-esque character. Book it. I can see Sami Zayn being booked that way. And a lot of you fucking guys, some people on my Twitter are absolutely fucking ridiculous. Oh, Sami Zayn sucks. Kevin Owens would have beat Stardust in 5 minutes. Maybe you goons don't understand the logic of booking an underdog character who tries to overcome the odds and overcome adversity only to come out on top. That's exactly what Sami Zayn did, and that's exactly how they're going to book Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn in that role is money, and expect him to play that role even better going up against someone who means something in Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn wins tonight. Very impressive against Stardust. 12 minutes and 43 seconds with the Helluva Kick. And finally, guys, Triple H versus Dean Ambrose, the WWE World title on the line. I will say this immediately. Triple H looked fantastic. He looked so much better than last time we seen him in the ring. He looked lean. He looked cut. He looked fit. He didn't miss one goddamn fucking step tonight. Triple H has been out all year. Well, he was in the Royal Rumble, but obviously to train to be in the Royal Rumble, you know, you got to look good. But excluding that, the last time we seen him in a one-on-one situation was probably at Wrestlemania, correct? So he was at Wrestlemania, and he didn't look all that impressive. He looked like, you know, someone who is aging, 46, 47-year-old aging professional wrestler. Triple H looked absolutely fantastic tonight. He comes out wearing the belt. Triple H wearing that belt, man, he makes that belt look important, the way that motherfucker fits around his waist. Dean Ambrose, a lot of people on the internet, I know Vince Russo said it, I know a few other people on the internet said it, Dean Ambrose can't wrestle. Dean Ambrose is not a money wrestler. He's very sloppy. Vince Russo, I believe, said Dean Ambrose can't even throw a fucking punch correctly. Oh, no, I think that was Mark Madden. I think that was Mark Madden who said that. I'm sorry about Vince Russo saying that. Mark Madden said on Jim Ross's podcast that Dean Ambrose can't throw a punch correctly. And if you can't get that part of your fundamental tactics down, then you're not going to make it in the business. I don't know what Mark Madden's talking about. I usually love his fucking opinion because he is unfiltered and just gives it to you right from the fucking gut, bro. I love the way Mark Madden speaks about the WWE product, but I got to disagree with him here. Dean Ambrose was very, very, very impressive tonight against Triple H. Triple H looked equally as impressive in the ring against Dean Ambrose. They both made each other look fantastic. And listen, I know there's Roman Reigns detractors out there. I know there's a bunch of Roman Reigns supporters, but I'm being honest with you guys. I can't see how Roman Reigns can go to WrestleMania and make anyone interested in this match. I can't see how Roman Reigns goes on to WrestleMania and puts on this caliber of match with Triple H. I mean, this is not Brock Lesnar. I mean, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, that was a perfectly scripted title match at WrestleMania last year. Perfect. Absolutely, right down to the fucking last bell ring. That was an absolutely perfectly booked WrestleMania main event because it's easy to book a match the likes of Brock Lesnar. Okay? It's easy to put something together like that. Triple H is not Brock Lesnar. Triple H is more of a technician. Triple H knows what he's doing. Triple H knows how to call a fucking match and make people look good. This is not Brock Lesnar. He's not a fucking gargantuan monster who's playing the role of a fucking beast. Triple H is a fucking in-ring technician. Him and Ambrose gelled perfectly tonight. And I want to see more of that. Roman Reigns and Triple H aren't going to put on this caliber of match to main event WrestleMania. This is why I've been saying I don't think this match is going to main event WrestleMania in 3 weeks. There's no way that it can. There's no way that it can just based off the caliber of match I know Dean Ambrose and Triple H had tonight. And I know it's not going to main event WrestleMania because of the reaction that it's going to get to close WrestleMania. Give me a fucking break. Dean Ambrose and Triple H tonight went close to 25 minutes. And there was parts in the match where it was slow and there was headlocks and a nice methodical pace, and then all of a sudden the match picked up. You know, about 16, 17 minutes, this match picked up until the very end. And everyone, including me, I marked the fuck out when that 3 count was made. Dean Ambrose had a 3 count. He hit dirty deeds on Triple H. I thought we had a new champion. Again, I will say, and this is another who scripts this garbage moment, who scripts this fucking garbage? You look at Dean Ambrose, the people watching me who watched this show tonight. Dean Ambrose hit dirty deeds on Triple H. Okay? 1, 2, 3. It's as if Dean Ambrose was intentionally trying to get his foot under the rope. I don't get it. I mean, if you're dirty deeds, if you're going to do dirty deeds to Triple H, why are you stretching out underneath the rope so that the referee sees it? Again, I don't understand it. Who scripts this fucking garbage? But then the referee says no, he starts waving it off. Your foot is underneath the rope. Dean Ambrose is like, what the fuck's going on? Triple H comes around and then has his feet on the second rope, but the referee doesn't see that. He sees Ambrose with his foot underneath the rope, but right in the middle of the ring, clear as day. A fucking blind man could see it. Triple H's feet are on the rope, and nobody says a goddamn fucking word. Give me a fucking break. All that was WWE trolling everyone in Canada and everyone watching at home. Oh, you want Dean Ambrose to win? We'll give you a Dean Ambrose win, but we'll have his foot underneath the rope so that the referee sees it. Other than that, the match ended with Dean Ambrose setting up Triple H on the announce table. And when Triple H started to rearrange furniture on the outside, he got a face reaction like he did when he fucking did this shit to Roman Reigns. People cheering Triple H for rearranging the announce table and getting it ready for destruction. Dean Ambrose sets up Triple H, starts attacking him, sets him up on the announce table. He's going to drive an elbow into Triple H and pretty much destroy the announce table. Obviously, he missed. Triple H rolled out of the way. Referee was counting to 9. Dean Ambrose slides in the ring to make the 10 count. He's met with a pedigree, which was very sloppily done, by the way. When you do a pedigree, you're supposed to go face first, not stomach first. Ambrose went stomach first and then face first. Very sloppy pedigree, but the pedigree did the job. Beat Dean Ambrose, retains the title. 24 minutes and 33 seconds. Great fucking match. Absolutely great fucking match. This match was better than the main event of Fastlane. This entire event was better than Fastlane. This should have been a Monday Night Raw. Easily could have been a Monday Night Raw. Goes back to what I've been saying for weeks, and I know I'm right, and I'm going to pat myself on the back. WWE should have made this a Monday Night Raw. There's no reason why this event needed to happen. We would have loved to be this excited about Monday Night Raw. If nothing was going to happen here, if WWE was going to stick to their guns and not have anything important happen at this event, there was no reason to have a Roadblock special. There was not. But I'm going to say this. Even though nothing important happened and that we're going to WrestleMania still with the predictable garbage that we know is coming, WWE and everybody tonight that participated in this show put on a damn good in-ring performance. This is probably the best wrestled show WWE has put on in 2016. Now, we have NXT TakeOver Dallas. This show might end up actually being better wrestled than WrestleMania. Mark my words. Just like I said, this NXT Dallas are going to blow away WrestleMania 32 in the actuality that WWE has planned for WrestleMania 32. That's just my honest opinion. Tonight, it was worth the in-ring action, but since WWE didn't do anything special and throw a wrench into the gears and shuffle things around for WrestleMania, this is deemed an unimportant show. And once again, no Roman Reigns. I don't know when we're going to see Roman Reigns back on TV. This WWE Championship match for WrestleMania is being set up to be a fucking disaster. An absolute failure. Roadblock tonight. Great in-ring action. Nothing important. Passable show. New Day beat King, Barrett, and Sheamus. They retain the tag team titles. Jericho versus Jack Swagger. Jericho wins with the Walls of Jericho. Revival versus Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Shatter Machine by the Revival to retain the NXT tag team titles. Charlotte beat Natalya with a roll-up. She retains the Divas Championship. Brock Lesnar beat Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. Bray Wyatt was not touched. He suplexes and F5s Luke Harper for the win. Sami Zayn beat Stardust with the Helluva Kick. And Triple H beat Dean Ambrose in match of the night with the pedigree. Retains the WWE Championship. That is your Roadblock review and results. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. I also uploaded 3 videos today off the script. I had news on Sting early this morning. There was rumors going around that Sting might have been at the show. Obviously, that did not happen. If you guys want to go check that out, make sure you check the description down below. And I also uploaded a preview and predictions video for this very Roadblock special on the WWE Network. Please go show those videos some love. And I'll be back with Off the Script at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Stay tuned to this channel for more great WWE news, rumors, opinions, and reviews. Thank you guys so much. Remember to hit that thumbs up. I'm going to relax, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning on Off the Script. I'm JD. Have a good night, guys. Talk to you later.